So today I wanted to switch it up just a tad and do more of a get to know you type of video. I realized I started this YouTube channel without actually letting you guys know who I am, what I do, how I got to this point to where I feel like I can inform you guys of all this information about entrepreneurship, finances, marriage, you name it. And so I thought we would take time today to have more of a conversation and let you guys know who I am, why I'm even bringing value to the table, and be sure to comment and subscribe because ultimately that's what's going to help the channel rise to the top, because everybody needs to know the good word, how to get out of the rat race and level up. So who am I? I'm Jeremy Stevens. I'm 32 years old. I reside in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm married to my wife, Camille Stevens. We also have a son, and he's about almost 1.5 now, and we live a very blessed life. I met my wife about 5 years ago, and we've been married for almost 3, so it's been quite a journey, and we are blessed to be able to live the life and the lifestyle that we do. And I am here to just tell you guys all about, entrepreneurship, how to level up, how to break the cycle of mediocrity. And I actually went to my Instagram that I have quite a large following on, and I asked them to ask questions on almost like get to know me questions about, what would help YouTube, the algorithm, and also just as I continue to grow on this platform, questions that's going to help you guys just get to know me a little bit better. So this is going to be about 15 questions. They may get deep, they may not, but we're gonna find out. So who I am, what I do. So again, I'm Jeremy Stevens, and I'm an entrepreneur. I don't work for the man. I don't go into a desk from 9 to 5. I am my own boss. It's not easy, but it is a blessing. That comes with a lot of responsibility. That comes with a lot of grit. That comes with a lot of failures, but ultimately also a lot of successes. So I thoroughly love being an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur, a full-time entrepreneur, I would say, for the last 2 years, and it has completely changed my life and those around me as well. Specifically my family, my wife and my son. I have 2 gyms in Indiana. So a little bit about that is I went through an extreme weight loss transformation of over 300 pounds. And here I am sitting at about 200 pounds. So I've lost like a whole person in my life. And sitting, going through that whole transformation, I was like, wow, like fitness is a huge passion of mine, and it just felt right to open up a gym to be able to sit on the other side of the fence and help others reach their fitness goals. I also have a business partner as well, and we do quite literally everything together from a business perspective. We have the gyms together. We also own real estate together. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm only 32 years old, so to have this type of ownership at such a young age is a huge blessing. I don't take it lightly. Like I said, it is a lot of responsibility, but I'm the man for the job, and I'm thankful that God called me to do this. So we have 2 gyms, one downtown Indianapolis, Indiana, one on the north side of Indianapolis as well. I have 26 rental arbitrage units. I'll get into that because I think there's a couple questions about rental arbitrage later on in the video. But rental arbitrage in a nutshell is where I go into apartment complexes, I lease them to travel professionals. So I have 26 of those here in town. And then I also have 3 houses as well. Again, as I mentioned, I have a business partner, so we do pretty much all of our business ventures together. We split them right down the middle, but we have 3 houses, including my primary residence as well. Typically do fix and flips right now. Eventually we will get into buy and holds. For all my real estate people out there, I'm sure you understand this lingo. So let's get into the questions. How did you begin your entrepreneurial journey? I've been full-time for 2 years. But I really began in 2017. I was working a corporate job, my first shirt and tie job, I would call it, after I got done playing football. I played college football and professionally in the Arena Football League as well. So after I got done playing football, I just took, a shirt and tie job. I didn't really know anything about anything outside of football. So I was like, well, I have to make money eventually. So I went on Indeed.com and I searched, random jobs in random cities, and I ended up in Chicago, Illinois. where I started my desk job making $35,000 a year living in Chicago with 2 roommates. As you and I both know, that is not a lot of money, but I made it work. At the time, I think I was about 25, 26 years old, so I just made it happen. And I grinded, I worked my butt off, and got a promotion, moved on to St. Louis, Missouri, where I was running an entire office. There I was making $50,000 a year in St. Louis, and I thought I was rich. Yeah. So that's how I began my entrepreneurial journey. And as I already mentioned, I already was going through this extreme weight loss transformation at the time. So my business partner and I were like, wow, we should start this business to where we're selling meal plans and training plans. Based on your transformation, we can help a lot of people and make money off of it. We should do it. So we started a business called Disturbing Comfort in 2017, which really catapulted my entrepreneurial journey. So that's where it all started, and everything has catapulted since then. Next question, what made you open up a gym? What made you get into fitness? It's kind of a piggyback off of the last question. What made me open up a gym was that I could eventually help people on their fitness journeys because, like my own, I went through such a extreme weight loss transformation. I was like, wow, I think it'd be really cool for people to experience that under our roof, under my roof, which is what catapulted the gym. Also, it's in the backyard of where my business partner and I grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana. So it was nothing, short of great and just God's blessings that we were able to help people in our own backyard. So that was another definitely incentive in opening up a gym here in town. And now fast forward even 3 years from that, from our first gym, we opened up a second one on the north side of Indianapolis as well. So it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing. How did you meet your wife? I met my wife in high school. Oddly enough, we were not high school sweethearts or anything like that, but we knew each other. We both played sports. She was the prom queen at our big high school. I was not. Again, going back to the first couple questions, I was extremely overweight. So I would joke around with her is that she probably didn't even want me then, but now that I've done a little bit better for myself, here we are. So we just rekindled on Instagram. I think one of us slid in some DMs, we replied to a story, and about 5 years later, we have a nice house and a child. So it has been a blessing, but we did originally meet in high school. Has being married helped you in business? Absolutely. There's no distractions outside of business, and I have 2 focuses. 1 is God, family, and 2 is business. So outside of that, I have no distractions. A single young lad here in town or wherever you live, there's just a lot of distractions. Going on dates with other women, meeting new people, going out, drinking, etc. There's no distractions when you have a focus, tunnel vision. And also to build wealth and build consistency, it's better to do with 2 people on top of that. So, and thirdly, even outside of marriage, going even a step further, having a child also just subconsciously does something to you where you're not just providing for yourself anymore, you are providing for a whole nother life. So absolutely, marriage has the utmost advantages, and only do it when you're ready. It's not for everybody, but it is for me and my wife. So absolutely it does help in business, even from making business decisions. It's good to run that by just somebody else and who you are in partnership with. And it's a little bit sweeter when you're also married to her. So it's been great. Where do you get your drive from? I think I get my drive from my dad. My dad is a pastor, or a retired pastor now in Indiana, and he was pastoring for 30 plus years, my whole life, as long as I can remember. And he started his church from the ground up in the basement of our home. And just seeing that, I think subconsciously put something in my brain to where I can build anything as well from the ground up. I don't care how old I am. I don't care, if I don't have all the resources that I need at my fingertips, I'm just gonna figure it out. And that's definitely where I got my drive from. How did you grow your Instagram following page? My Instagram is popping. I have 118,000 followers on Instagram. This really stemmed from posting about my fitness journey since 2017, 2016, when I went through that transformation. And after that, I started getting brand deals, Oreos, Donatos, King's Hawaiian, Corona beer, you name it. I've worked with some of the biggest brands in the world. And after, posting all my transformation fitness stuff for so long, it really just was a catapult, kind of snowball effect these brands started reaching out as my following grew. And I think organically, just from posting about, being really big to getting a lot leaner. And then also when I started partnering with these big brands, they started to repost me and I would just get a lot of shout outs. And here we are 118,000 followers later. And that's really how I grew my following. What do you attribute your success to? Success is a relative word. I will honestly say that I am somebody, since I am such an entrepreneur and have, that's how I make my living. Success is relative, and I can genuinely say that I didn't even see myself as successful until this past year, 2023. Although I had, I own 2 gyms with members and with a big membership base, and I have all these houses, I didn't deem myself as successful until I really saw the fruits of my labor. Fruits meaning money. And it wasn't even until this year to where I really broke through all the financial barriers that I had ever experienced. So I would attribute my success just to my hard work, consistency, and persistence. As most of you probably know in business, 9 times out of 10, it doesn't go as planned. But the reason why people separate themselves in business is because they just stick with it. And I've done a really good job of just sticking with it. And eventually you're gonna break through and just enjoy the fruits of your labor. And you're just gonna see, massive amounts of blessings, not only just financially, but just blessing others as well. So I would just attribute my success to just my overall grit, persistence, and just being consistent with what I wanted as far as my entrepreneurial journey. What was the first business you started? That's kind of a repeat question because I kind of already answered that. First business was in 2017. Disturbing Comfort was online meal plans. We were selling online meal plans, online training plans, and also fitness apparel. What are your 2024 goals? My 2024 goals have already changed from what I thought they would be late in 2023. December 2024, I'm coming off personally and business-wise my best financial month ever in my life. So we'll kind of do a couple personal and then a couple business. So personally, wanna grow my relationship with Christ. I am a believer. I attribute all of my success to Him. So even just going off the last question, build a close relationship with Christ always. Read my daily devotionals always. Build a strong relationship with my wife and marriage always. Be a better husband, better father always. Put $10,000 in my child's bank account and his college 529 bank account. I want to surpass $10,000 this year. The kid can't even talk, but we're able to do those types of things. And that is a little bit of a lofty goal only because I don't put all of our eggs into his basket, but I do think $10,000 is attainable in his bank account, which is really cool because he's only turning 2 in, this summer. So I think that's really cool. And then business-wise, I have two main businesses. DYC Fitness is our gyms, which we have 2. And then the other is Jeremy Stevens Marketing LLC. So that's all my real estate stuff, social media brand deals, and that's how I make money for Jeremy Stevens LLC. So for DYC, I want to continue to grow our clientele. I'm not gonna put a number on our clientele because that's always, it kind of goes in ebbs and flows. So continue to grow our clientele for sure. And probably also getting a trainer in there to almost where they're just kind of paying booth rent and they can just train their clientele inside of our space, which is a really popular business model right now. And I think we want to try that out this year. And then for Jeremy Stevens Marketing, I definitely want to surpass $1 million in revenue this year. That is 100% owned by my wife and I. Again, that's all my brand deals and then real estate as well. I want to surpass $1 million in revenue. That is a lofty goal, of course. I'm only 32, so to see that kind of money is quite frankly astronomical and wild, but it also is attainable. Coming off of our biggest month yet, last month we broke $100,000 in revenue for the first time. So we saw our first 6-figure month, which was huge. But after you break that, it's like, well, I can replicate that, and you do that 12 times. We're sitting well over $1 million in revenue. So that's our 2024 goals. What made you get into real estate? Well, guys, I like money. No, but really though, I genuinely like building stuff from the ground up. first off, no pun intended, because that's another like kind of sub goal under my real estate goal, is I noticed that 90% of millionaires have some sort of tie to real estate. That was first and foremost why I wanted to get into real estate. I am a big component of having financial freedom at a very young age, and real estate is a secure and quick way to get there. Real estate is such a big umbrella. It's, rental arbitrage. I would consider that to be a form of real estate. There is buying a property that looks like crap, you renovate it and sell it. That is a flip. That is a form of real estate. There's also buying wholes, where you just buy turnkey properties and you put a tenant in there, you rent it out. And there's being a realtor, where you represent buyers and sellers. I think real estate is the coolest thing in the world, simply because it's such a big umbrella and you can make money in so many different ways. You can't say that about a lot of industries. So I think real estate, not only is it cool and fascinating and there's so many layers to it, so I'm also attracted to it because I'm always learning, but it's also a way to create financial freedom for you and your family in a secure way, because real estate, well, I guess differently than most things in life, real estate appreciates, everything else depreciates. Meaning when you purchase something in real estate, when you purchase a home, it appreciates in value, which means equity, which means you can set up not only, for yourself, but also generations to come. I'm trying to set up generational wealth, generational, freedom for, my family and my lineage as well. So that's just a great way to get there. I grew up well. I definitely didn't grow up rich, but I definitely grew up well. And I joke, but the biggest difference between myself and my son is that he's going to grow up wealthy. He will grow up rich. And so it's going to be up to me to continue to instill hard work into him. But yeah, so that's what I'm trying to create. I had no handouts. I didn't have a trust fund that I was blessed with. Everything that I had, possessed, worked hard for because of not only God's blessings, but, just working very, very hard to get to where I am. So that's what got me into real estate. I'm trying to be a millionaire. What would you say your biggest passion is right now? My biggest passion right now will always be fitness. Fitness first and foremost, and real estate. Fitness and real estate. It's pretty straightforward. I do have a passion for making content as well. I really like this YouTube thing, so I'm really trying to get this going. Fitness, real estate, creating content for sure. What was your favorite thing to do outside of business? Hanging with my wife, for sure. Traveling the world with my wife, watching movies with my wife, having my wife tell me what to do in the kitchen, telling me to clean the kitchen, clean the house, go change diapers. I'm a family man at heart. I'm a homebody at heart. And to get to share that with my spouse is really, really dope. And I also don't take that lightly. I'm very blessed to be able to do that. We are able to take, trips internationally, travel the world. We're taking our first class international trip here in a few days. That's a blessing that I don't take lightly. So that's definitely my favorite thing to do outside of, just like business stuff. That's my favorite thing to do. What is rental arbitrage? The number one question that I get, because I have had a lot of success in this method of real estate that I would consider real estate. Rental arbitrage is where I go into an apartment complex, I call them and say, hey, do you guys do corporate leases? Do you allow corporate leases? I'm looking to essentially run a business out of here to house corporate professionals, traveling professionals. They either tell me yes or they tell me no. The ones that tell me yes, I list it on websites like Airbnb, FurnishFinder.com, Apartments.com, Booking.com, BRRRR. And with this, I'm able to run a business, house people who are traveling to my city or wherever the place is, and make money off of it. I have to hire cleaners and things of that sort to uphold the business, of course. So I have a lot of help with this business, but if done correctly, you can make a lot of money with it. It is a business, so you have to treat it as such, who I tell everybody to, but again, I am up to 26 rental arbitrage units, which is a lot because last year, 2023, I had 0 up until May. So you do the math. We did a lot. We did a lot last month for sure. And to even go a little bit further, you can make about $2,800 to $3,200 per month in my market on each unit in revenue. Do the math. What did you learn from the year 2023? The year 2023 taught me that I can't do it all, and it was the year of delegation. If I want to get to where I ultimately want to be and max out my potential, I need help in a lot of ways. So I hired people to manage my Airbnbs. I hired more trainers at the gym. I have a cleaner come into my primary house where my wife and my son live. We have a cleaner come like every 2 weeks. I have people who help me with move-ins for traveling professionals. I have people who help me find deals for real estate. I have just a lot of help in life. That was what year 2023 taught me, is that I can't do it all. I need to delegate. And in order to get to where I ultimately want to be, we need to go as a tribe, not as individuals. That wraps up all the questions that I have. Always dropping weekly videos. I plan to drop a travel vlog next week because we are going to the Bahamas. That should be a really fun time. You follow these rules that I'll be dropping weekly entrepreneurial tips. That is absolutely how you escape the rat race and level up. See y'all next time.